Welcome to episode number 7, Best You Now, a place where compassion, creativity are driving change and innovation, not only through the mindset per se, but also through the amazing guests that we bring on board. Today, I have the great pleasure and honor to interview Dr. Kim. She is an intuitive physician, a published author, an amazing woman. I had the pleasure of speaking with her actually a few days ago, and I was so impressed with the holistic approach she is taking to health by involving body and mind, and understanding that us human beings operate at our best when we take care of ourselves via 360-degree approach. Here she is. Dr. Kim, how are you?
It's great to be here. I'm glad I found you.
Yes, and we were a few days ago, we went live on my account, and I was just saying, Dr. Kim, how impressed I was with your holistic approach to treating your patients or clients, however you want to call them, because us as humans, we can only operate and be our best if we balance body, mind, and soul. And I would like for you, Dr. Kim, to share with us, how did you come to this conclusion that just being an exceptional doctor is not enough if you don't bring the intuition into it?
Okay, I had that awareness really before I even came to medicine, that there was something limiting about the perspective most people had about the body, about what needs to happen, about how we look at disease, and that we were really just scratching the surface of what we were seeing, that we're not purely physical, we're vibrational, we are made of energy, our thoughts affect our body, our mind affects our cells. And yeah, there's a lot of research demonstrating this. And now, this is 30 years later, but this still at the time wasn't incorporated into mainstream medicine. It's still not incorporated into mainstream medicine, but there's more and more people waking up to the fact that, like, whoa, there's more going on here than what conventional medicine seems to be sharing. And, they're looking outside the box for solutions and what we call, quote, alternative medicine. The only reason these things are seen as alternative is because they're not in the mainstream narrative of what we're being told is possible. It's not because they're not scientifically founded. It's not because there's not extensive amounts of really well done research demonstrating that the body has the ability to heal itself. So for me, it was really an obvious thing that I'm like, well, I'm not going to buy into that limitation and that way of seeing that, disease is that's the end of the day. You got this disease, period, end. No, wait. This can change. This is the state my body's currently in, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything about what's true. So, I've really committed my career to exploring this, sharing this, and using this with the people that I work with.
It's amazing because, Dr. Kim, our mind is the most powerful tool. No matter how much the body sometimes fights for its rights, if our mindset is not aligned with the greatest and most positive attitude, even we are not going to respond greatly to treatments, right? It is very well known that sometimes when it's a new medication is being tested, it's being given to a few patients. Some of them are just being given something that has nothing to do with the medication, but the thought that they are being administered a pill that can save them, they say, I feel great. Yes. And the thing is that they didn't even take the pill in reality. This is how powerful our mind is.
And we're seeing it's not just...
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Well, we're seeing it's not just that they think they're better. It's actually activating something within their system, within their body, activating a physiologic change that has their body heal. And this has been shown to be incredibly powerful. In fact, more powerful than any medication we have studied this way, that our body there's this activation factor where we can let our body do a completely different thing. And instead of creating cancer cells, it's, destroying cancer cells. Instead of creating inflammation, autoimmune disease, pain, it's doing the exact opposite.
So it's very important to coordinate these elements. Now, Dr. Kim, when patients come to you, what type of approach, is it something specific that you ask them in order to tap into their mindset? Because before you start treating the body, they have to also be prepared mentally to face the treatment. And Dr. Kim, I wanted to share with you, I met one of the most incredible children on this earth. He's been diagnosed with leukemia at the age of 2. He is 6 years old. If you see him on his Instagram, every day he says, I'm a champion. and he just flexes his little muscles and his mindset. I mean, to fight cancer for all these years, he can only do it because in his mind, he's a champion. And this is just a battle.
Well, and it will activate so much in our body when we buy into the idea, really, we remember I'm powerful. It's okay for me to access that power. But when we do the opposite and we buy into the idea, oh, I guess I got this disease, I'm not okay. I guess I have to take this medication, even though it has side effects. And then we believe all these limitations. We believe these thoughts. That has a direct effect on our health and has been shown to limit our health.
So how do you address your patients when they come to you, especially now during these challenging times when we are already more sensitive and more emotional to begin with? What's the way to balance their state of mind in order to have them reciprocate to what you have to say and be able to respond well mentally?
Yeah, one of the big things, well, there's a couple things. One is you can't just be positive, right? You've got something that's trying to work itself out, and then you try to just override it and be positive. It's not going to work. It's not supposed to work. That's not what we need to do. When you actually meet the pain, the grief, the despair that's underlying the symptoms, and I've seen 100% of patients when they have chronic illness that's not getting better no matter what they try, and they're miserable, they're like something's wrong, 100% of the time there are emotions underlying those symptoms that are keeping them in place. There are belief systems underlying this. So we look at okay, you have this pain. What do you feel when you have the pain? And they can start with the physical, but they'll eventually go to an emotional layer of, I am overwhelmed. I'm afraid it's going to get worse. I'm embarrassed. People think I'm not, good enough. I can't do these basic things other people can do. So grief, shame, fear, these are the things that actually underlie these. And we're trying so hard to get better so we won't have to meet those energies or feel those. But it's the exact opposite. If I can guide someone to actually go into those energies and into embracing those emotions, everything can heal, sometimes in minutes.
Wow, Dr. Kim, what's amazing is that it's a societal belief that we must be powerful at all times. When you go on social media platforms, we have quotes after quotes, be strong, do this.
Positive.
What is positivity? Because ultimately we are humans. We can't possibly always be positive, right? And we are being encouraged to take a road that doesn't allow our vulnerability to come into the mix. And we discussed this on Monday as well. This is the moment when we are able to reciprocate to our well-being, the moment when we allow our fear to tap in, identify where it's coming from, and then you treat it. Right?
Well, the thing that actually allows healing is connecting with the truth. So it's not about being positive. It's about what is actually here. I feel hopeless. I feel ashamed. I feel scared. So whatever the physical symptoms are, whether it's pain or fatigue or foggy, brain fog, or even just the idea of the illness, right? I'm so worried about this thing. If you feel into that and just relax and soften your body, all of these energies will come up right away. For most people, if I'm working with them in a group or live, if you're doing this yourself, just keep giving a little more time, because a lot of times we block these sensations and we block this awareness. We actually put a lot of energy into doing that. So as soon as you start to soften your body and breathe intentionally, all of this stuff will start to come up. Be a little patient to just presence what's there. It will come up. What's underneath these symptoms? So as I tune into that specific pain, or, I feel so tired, what do I witness that's under that? And for usually within just a couple of moments, if I'm working with someone, boom, 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 it's right there. You can start by tuning into what you feel physically, because even just tuning into the physical body, whether you're tuning into symptoms or just feel your feet on the floor, feel your butt on the seat, this alone starts to create changes in your brain activity. And your brain's neuroplastic, so this will actually eventually lay down new neural pathways that are actually healthy, even if what you're feeling is painful, that you're sensing, you're feeling, you're getting curious, you're paying attention, and you put your awareness on your body instead of outside yourself. So this is actually the first step in initiating that activation of healing, what is, like, what's actually happening right now, even though I might think it's negative, what is, and bringing my awareness into my body instead of keeping it outside of me.
This is so incredible because what I'm experiencing now with you, I experienced it on Monday. I realized that my shoulders, when I studied the IG Live with you, I was tensed. I actually didn't realize until you started to speak. And then suddenly I said, oh, it feels so much more comfortable now. I feel like a weight has been lifted from my chest, and I expressed that to you. And today I caught myself doing the same thing. I was tense. As soon as you started to speak, I just remember that I have to relax. And this is something, that's why we come to you, right? Sometimes we also have to be reminded, I
Yes.
forgot this has happened on Monday. Now, because we are speaking again, and that goes back to expertise, we are being reminded that to recognize that fear and now tap into it. And I believe that's why sometimes self-help books are great, videos are great, but ultimately we need an expert to work with to guide us through the process until we start to learn to organically relax, right? It's something that can be taught. It's not something that we read in the books and we say, oh, every day I'm going to relax my shoulders. It's not that easy.
Yeah.
If books would be enough or a video would be enough, we would all be our best version of ourselves. Dr. Kim, what is the typical procedure when a patient comes to you and feels that the stress level he or she is encountering is taking a toll on their body in a way that they are not sick, but they feel like they are sick? How long is the process? How do you work with them? Is it once a week? Is it twice a week? Based on what criteria you identify the frequency needed?
It's different for everybody. Some people will just read my book and actually have like, whoa, I have to tell you what happened. My illness is gone. My pain is gone. This awakened me to my power. Boom. Some people will watch my YouTube videos and they'll write to me and tell me, I just binge watch you for, so many of your videos and I have no longer have pain in my body. Some people will work in my groups. So I have the Embracing Health group where we go into a deeper dive over a year of time. For some people that have really severe chronic illness, it could be months before they're really seeing that physical illness reverse. I had one patient with very severe MS, multiple sclerosis, which is an autoimmune progressive neurologic disease. She's completely reversed it. She was told she'd probably die in a few months. She was in the bed. They had a real hospital bed into her dining room. She was at the end stage of MS, but she knew, like, no, there's power here. There's something else that's possible for me. And she had tuned into my work over several months and then worked in a live group program with me. And that's when she really began to see massive change. And now she's walking. I mean, she's posting pictures in the Mind Body community, in our community on Facebook, and she's with her walker, but she's up and walking and moving her body. And so it's different for everyone. And I think the biggest key, because I actually interviewed her because I wanted her to share, like, you've known this for a while, you've studied this work, what was the big opener? And she said it was when she finally let go of control. And you and I talked about this the other day, like how much we may want to heal ourselves, but that actually creates a lot of attachment that doesn't allow the resilience and the harmony that creates healing. So sometimes, yes, we're proactive, but let go of the attachment. Let go of the result. And for most people I work with, they'll feel the lightness right away, like within minutes. Boom, whoa, I feel inspired. I feel lighter. If you were to stay with that and keep feeding that and let that be where your attention goes, the physical healing will be really quick. What happens though is people go, oh, I feel so light. Oh, but my lab results are still abnormal. Oh, I feel so much lighter. Oh, but I still have this pain. Who are we really fooling? And then they go back to putting more attention on the outer, on the physical, and less attention on the energetic. And it brings them, it doesn't mean they're not still moving forward, but it brings them a little more density in the process. So sometimes that kind of glitches a little, glitches things up. So the work I'm doing is designed around how do you stay in that lightness no matter what's happening. Sure, my lab results still look like that. Sure, I'm still having this sensation in my body of symptoms, but can I let myself connect with this deeper truth and let this work, this health, keep continuing to do what it can do?
This is amazing. We have actually an interesting question, but before we get to that, so Dr. Kim, there are different stages. There are people that if they just read your book, and watch your videos, they can heal and help themselves depending of the stage they are in, right? And then there are people, they read the book and they come to you because they realize there's a new stage necessary. And the third group is they come to you directly because there's a deep need. It's very important. They have to prioritize it. We do have an interesting question here. Say, Dr. Kim, I struggle with healing because I feel I need to understand why I have always felt so much sadness since being a child.
Oh, this is a big thing. If we think the mind has to understand, then we won't let the process just happen. So you could have this profound, unthinkable, indescribable sadness. But because the mind gets on board and goes, why do I have this? What do I do? But how do I control it? How do I make it go away? Now we just propagate that space. If we'd actually just honor what we feel without needing to understand, without needing an explanation, the energy will move. It's like a child. I have an 8-year-old and a little 2-year-old. And if my daughter, let's take, she's 8, but she'll come to me, and if she's grumpy or she's sad or she's scared, and if I start going, well, why do you feel like this? Well, let's look at it. Let's try to make you feel better. That's not going to really help her. But if I just say, oh, sweetheart, come here. I love you. It's okay. And she cries, right? Maybe she cries for a few minutes and I'm like, it's okay. I love you. And then she's like, I feel better now. I'm going to go out and play. Great. The energy moved. But what if I sat there with her, Gemma, come on, it's already been a full minute. Like, are you done yet? I mean, why are you crying? You really shouldn't be crying like this. Is there a reason? What happened? Did something happen? Let's make sure we don't let that happen again. Now she's in her head. The energy can't move when we go into the mental body because this is the emotional body. It isn't logical. It doesn't need to be understood or will not be understood or make sense. It's just freaking energy moving. But if we could give it space, like my husband's really good at this with me because I'm just such an emotional person. And sometimes I just want to cry. I don't know why. And thankfully, he doesn't need to know why either. And he'll be like, oh, come here. And he'll just hold his face for me and love me. And it's maybe like a minute, which will feel like a long time when you're really presencing these energies. But a decade of energy, like 4 decades of energy could move in that 1 minute because I'm not trying to understand it. I'm not needing an excuse or a reason, and I'm not trying to stop it. So I could literally have a massive like flood of clearing and then feel amazing. I'm more whole, I'm more me, I'm more light because I gave myself space. But when we really want to, because why do we want to understand? We want to stay in control. You got to let go of control in order to allow healing.
It's the control. Let it surrender. Let go of control. While I'm talking to you, Dr. Kim, I caught myself at least 4 or 5 times. Like I just felt that my body was needing that deep breath. I wonder what was I holding in. It's been a very tough week, but I just realized now that I speak with you, the emotions that gather inside of us, how much damage they do because you can't sleep well, you can't eat. There are so many things that are affected by your emotional state of mind, right? Let's see, to cry.
It's suppressed emotions. It's suppressed emotions that do damage. They're like in there like little gremlins, like destroying your system, creating inflammation, increasing your cortisol, literally turning on the genes, the DNA for disease. And if you do like what you're doing, soften my body, give myself a little space. Your body is a healing machine. It knows how to move this emotional energy. So if you've had a thing happen that was stressful, like whatever has happened this week, and then you didn't like necessarily process that, and the energy's still there, and later on you're like, wait a minute, let me just take a deep breath. That energy can move. It bypasses the conscious mind. You don't even have to know it's happening, but you will feel a little lighter, a little more relaxed, and it will clear the space for so many miracles to happen.
So it's very important to be in touch with ourselves and also question ourselves, why is it that I feel this way, right? Because a lot of times we just start a day, we go through the Zoom calls, and next thing you know, it's 9 p.m. and you just kind of accumulate that fear and stress, but you don't actually think about it. You go to sleep with all that energy that has been built up during the day. Do you have, Dr. Kim, a routine or something you do every morning and every night religiously that you feel it helps you? Because obviously, speaking with so many people, you also kind of get that energy from them too that perhaps affects you. What is, Dr. Kim, we want to steal some secrets. What is it that you
Okay.
do in the
There's
morning
a
and in the
lot
evening?
of things. There's a lot of things I do. In fact, in the book, like I put together the specific things I do that clear my energy system, that allow a release and allow the activation of the wisdom to do what it can do. The Mind Body Toolkit, it's at drkimd.com/book. This just came out this week. And I wouldn't even say I do anything religiously, because like I'm human and like I just do the best I can. But there are a lot of go-to things I have. So one is presencing my body. And someone's asking, how do I get out of the analytical mind and into the intuitive mind? It's all the same thing. When I just bring my attention to the physical, because your physical body can only live in the now. It can't live in the future. The mind can live in the future, hoping, fearing what might happen. The mind can live in the past, this other thing that happened that I'm just replaying over and over. The mind can live outside of you. What do other people think? Oh, did I do a good enough job? But the body can only live in the now. So if all you do is bring your attention into your physical body, feel yourself physically, you can touch yourself physically, you can feel your breath, physically soften your body, and slow and deepen your breath. And I would say I do this every night before I go to sleep, because I know I got to do something to have my body like, oh, body, you can turn off. It's okay to, we're doing this now. It's okay to let everything go. We're going to sleep. If I don't do that, I mean, my quality of sleep's not going to be great. I'm not going to have that restoration. I learned this years ago when I was a doctor in the ER in the beginning of my career. That was my board certification. And when I would leave the ER in my residency, I would literally go home all night tossing and turning. I got to check a chest x-ray. Oh, I got to get that EKG. Oh no, what happened to that patient? In my sleep, because I hadn't turned this off. I didn't let my body know, body, we're good. Everyone's tucked in. Everything is okay. There's nothing for you to do. You can let go. And I literally have to talk out loud to myself, leaving the ER to go to the garage to my car. And if I did that, boom, I turn off, I go to sleep. So you're not working in the ER necessarily, but you're still in a little bit of like a amped up state through the day, most of us. So let your body know, like, we're in bed now. It's okay. Let everything go. Everyone's all right. There's nothing I need to take care of. You can also put your wisdom to work for you while you sleep. Oh, how do I want to find that item I lost? Or I'm trying to get in touch with that person. You know what, wisdom? Take care of all of it for me. My body is a healing machine. My body is a genius manifesting machine. And I allow it to do everything it was designed to do. And then you go to sleep. You're going to have a very different experience.
This is amazing. And it's also important, like right now, Dr. Kim, for the doctors and the nurses that work in a hospital under this very challenging times, and they face fear and death on a daily basis, right? Is this something that, is it something that that they can do in order to counterbalance that element of sadness that they witness? So it's not about how they feel, it's
Oh,
they
yeah.
see it. How do you detach from what you see,
I
detach it from
had it.
what
You
you
have
feel?
to embrace it. I have seen a lot of death and a lot of like, gosh, really heart-wrenching situations with having to tell the family what happened, especially when it's a young person and it's sudden, and you feel not like you're just feeling everyone else's energy, you're feeling the energy of the situation. And if you don't somehow embrace that in your body, you're suppressing all that energy. You could walk around with it for decades. So I used to just take a little walk, like a little lap around the ER after I would leave a situation like that. Put your hand on your heart. I would tell myself, I love you. I love you. I love you. It's okay to feel what you're feeling. All really is well. It's okay to embrace love and light right now. That's a way to embrace the darkness, to embrace the grief. Don't make it wrong. Don't try to like be positive and get over it. Okay, that happened. Now I'm back to work. No, 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 no. This is so toxic to the body. If you can just find a way to let some of that energy move. I love you. I love you. I love you. Love the pain, love the grief, love the fear, because this is how energy transmutes. So it's no longer a part of your physical or energetic system.
It's just amazing, right? How much control we can actually have when we let go of control, right? It's a funny thing. You truly take control of your life when you let go of controlling the things that you have no control
Yes,
over.
you activate your power, that you have this power that can do so many things, and you activate that when you let go of control.
So, Dr. Kim, I lost my mother 40 years ago to cancer, and I was never able to cry at the funeral, not at the funeral nor after. So it's been 40 years and I'm not able to tap into that. I mean, everything happened under my eyes. Obviously, I lost her just right there. And every time I try to go back to that hospital moment and I say, I'm going to try to revive that because I'm trying to see how I feel now. It's just like I'm completely shutting down. I can't cry. And I'm trying, I mean, my mind is blocking it. Is it
Yes.
something that people like myself can do to recall that memory and relive it maybe in a way that allows us to tap into it fully, understand it, and respond?
Yes. And so here's what you do. And this is such a great question, for because most people who are watching this, if I ask them to tune into their body and feel what they feel, they'll tell me, I don't feel anything. Oh my God, something's wrong with me. I'm numb. Oh, I must have blah, 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 blah syndrome. And then they make up a problem around it. It's not what's happening. When your brain has been trained to block out certain information or sensations, it is neuroplastic. It will reform around this new state. So it's not picking that up. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. When you do begin to pay attention, if you just spend 5 minutes a day, for you, take 10 minutes a day, because what you may see is like, well, there's some emptiness in my life, or like, hey, my relationships are not as deep as I'd like. Oh, I wonder if it's linked to this grief I haven't really touched into. So you may have some reason why you want to go there. So you'll take 10 minutes a day and just sense her. The little, you said 40 years ago?
40 years ago.
Okay, 4 years ago. So 4 years ago, this younger person, this younger version of you, meet with her, connect with her, see her. You may feel nothing. Okay, breathe in, breathe out, tune in. If you stay present to the nothing, right? You're like, this space where I had this loss. Oh, I feel numb. Breathe in, breathe out. This space, known and unknown, where I shut down. Oh, okay, I feel powerless, because you might feel a little frustrated. Breathe in, breathe out. For 10 minutes, just presence it with curiosity. Huh, what might be here? Oh, interesting, maybe I shut down. Oh, what am I feeling? Tune in physically. Feel your feet, feel your pelvis, feel your belly, feel how the body moves with the breath. It's all you're doing is curiously tuning in physically. And you notice what you notice. So if people say, but I don't feel anything. Good, just notice that. Oh, I noticed I don't feel anything. Oh, I noticed there's numbness. Oh, I noticed it feels like a big brick sitting in my pelvis. Oh, I noticed there's heaviness on my chest. Awareness will start to come in. Do not make it wrong. If there's heaviness, there's density, there's, I feel like I'm going to cry, but I can't cry. Notice, notice, notice. Breathe in, breathe out. Stay present to it, because this is what creates massive change in the brain that allows a repatterning. So it does begin to register this awareness.
Wow, this is amazing, Dr. Kim, because I believe I felt guilty. I say, how come I didn't cry? Maybe people thought I was crazy. I didn't cry. Maybe they thought, like in my mind, I'm downplaying the feelings and I worry about the little things just to counterbalance the pain, which is not healthy, because that's ultimately doesn't matter what people thought for you. I'm sure they don't remember I didn't cry. But it's like
Yes.
we are forcing ourselves instead of really tapping, as you say, allow yourself to feel, hey, it's okay, I didn't cry, because that's not the issue. There's something different there, right? So just, I think that's, Dr. Kim, you brought up such a strong and valid point. I never realized that you should just allow yourself to feel what you feel and tap into that state of mind without judgment, without judging yourself. I should have done that. I should have dressed this way when mom passed away. I should have done this in a hospital. And then suddenly we don't pay attention to the main issue. We just circle around, and that's why the pain is still there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it will keep you from going deeper in your life, not just your relationships and having more of intimacy, but it will keep you from more fully expressing who you are. So people will be like, well, I really like her, she's beautiful, I can't really feel her. They won't really feel the aliveness. They'll feel a little bit, but you're like, whoa, I know there's so much more to me. I know there's so much more richness in my life and in my impact or in my work. And then it's not really until we want that thing that lies outside the box, we're like, I want to have more wealth and abundance, I want to have more joy, I want to have more connection, that we'll actually choose to go outside that box, because it can be really comfortable, it can feel safe, it can feel scary to go beyond it. So the heart is yearning for always more, always to be more of who we really are. We're always in expansion. But if we learn how to shut that down because we're too scared and we protect ourselves, it becomes like a tough, lonely life. So it's only through our pain sometimes that we awaken to make that bold and brave choice, or through just the inspiration of, we see someone else doing it and we're like, oh, yes, I'm going to do this. I'm going to have this. So it's inspiration or desperation, which will awaken us to allow us to embrace all this and be more fully alive.
Wow, it's just like, I feel like, can we keep Dr. Kim in our lives forever? Like, we want it to be 24/7 with us, because it's just, I feel like I learned so much just by spending some time with you on Monday, and now just to tapping into understanding myself and having compassion for myself as well, which sometimes we have the tendency not to. We have empathy for others, but we forget to have empathy for ourselves. Dr. Kim, there is a question that really burns me, because you are a fellow woman entrepreneur and you say that you are emotional and you are sensitive. How do we balance our emotions? For me, because the line of business I do, which is brand and business strategy, it can be challenging. How do you balance when you work with your clients? Should you express if they hurt your feelings, which happens a lot? Should you express that even though it's just a business relationship? Should you become emotional about it and communicate that?
It's all emotional. Everything is energy. So if I'm energetically shut down in a business conversation or with a client, I can't actually have a real exchange that allows healing for either of us. So when I'm in a conversation, a business conversation, or any conversation, if I'm not emotionally flowing, I'm shutting myself down. So no expansion can happen for either of us. Stuff can happen, but it's not actually going to create a life-changing shift in frequency. So what's the point? If I'm present to my emotions, someone says something and I feel, oh, whoa, what did that bring up in me? And I'm breathing and I'm conscious to myself, I can let that energy move or take an action to call it out. If I shut this down, I can't do either of them. I can't really contribute to anyone. I can't contribute to the moment. So the most essential thing I can do is stay emotionally present and emotionally alive. And it doesn't mean I say, you hurt my feelings. Why don't we look at that? You did this bad thing. No, 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 no. It's never, ever someone else who did this to us. They can be a gift that helps us become more present of the energies we're already feeling, the energies we're already carrying. Do I feel like I'm a victim? Do I feel like I haven't had enough love? Do I not feel cherished? And then someone will come along and say that exact thing that pings this thing for me. Like your mother's death pinged a space in you where you had already learned to shut down your emotions, where you cut off this part of yourself many, many years ago, and all of a sudden it's being asked to awaken because you realize, like, wait a minute, there's something wrong with this picture. I haven't responded. There's a whole part of me that's not really alive here, and you can begin to make a major change. So I always stay very, very connected with my emotions and with my energetic body. That's the entire reason. That's why I can do the work I do. That's why it's so powerful.
So, Dr. Kim, your book recently came out. What is the best way to get your book for everybody? And we had so many viewers today.
The book is at drkimd.com/book. And the way I wrote the Mind Body Toolkit is it's 10 tools you can use anytime, anywhere to activate this power in you. And it's the power for healing. Yes, it's the power for genius manifesting in your life. It's not through I'm doing it. I'm going to heal myself. Okay, what do I have to do? It's more about letting go and allow. Like I shared the story with the patient with severe MS, and she realized it was when I finally let go and surrendered that all of this could take effect. So these are really simple things you can do anytime, anywhere in your body, in your mind. It's at drkimd.com/book. So drkimd.com/book, or you can go to my bio and there's information there. And we've talked about a little touch-in on some of these things of how your physiology works, how your mind and body are connected. I think the most important thing to remember is that you are sitting on a gold mine. You actually have access to this genius powerhouse of healing and manifesting. And for most people, it is completely untapped.
So unleash your potential, stop giving your power away. Increase your self-awareness, be kind to yourself, be aware of what you feel, allow your feelings to express themselves, and then go and read the book. That's actually a must, right, for all of us. And they can also contact you via Instagram or via your website if they're interested in consulting or participating in your amazing group. Dr. Kim, it's been an honor and such a pleasure. I don't know why I have those stars showing up on my screen.
You are glowing and sparkling. It's your mother.
I don't know what they came from, but
it's your mother's here. Yeah. Your mother's here to say blessings to you and tell you how beautiful and sparkly you are and ask you to become more fully alive and encourage you in this direction.
Thank you so much. And you know, I wore gold today because I felt like I put my gold earrings, my Versace ring, and I said, I'm speaking with Dr. Kim and she talks about great energy and light. And I thought, to me, that was the color that inspired me. And
I love it. I wore
like
a gold color today too. Mine's not as shiny as yours. I love your outfit. It's so beautiful.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kim. I would love for us to stay in touch and hopefully we will do great interviews moving forward. You are a mine of gold to each of us. You are a light to each of us. Thank you for sharing your wisdom, your passion, your creativity with us, and your compassion. Thank you so much.
So much love. I'll be live actually on the Mind Body community in Facebook and on my YouTube in 15 minutes. We go do a live broadcast every Wednesday at 11 o'clock Mountain. So whoever would like to join me there today or future, you can tune into what I'm doing there as well.
How, so we go to the Facebook group for Dr. Kim Facebook?
Yes, it's the Mind Body community in Facebook, or the Dr. Kim is the business page. It's on there as well. Or on my YouTube.
I'm actually going to tune in right now. So we will see you the way we see people these days. It's been a pleasure, Dr. Kim.
Thank you, Brittany. Bye, Maura. Bye, everybody who's been here. Thank you.
Bye.